Bam. There it is. What's going on, guys? Another day here in the shop, and as you can see, we're getting ready to start working on my friend AJ's 64 Buick Skylark. We're going to be doing an LS swap. It's kind of cool. We're going to do a 4.8 with a 60E that's been completely rebuilt, and it's going to be very kind of similar to like the Katie car special. We're going to do some steel wheels, all that stuff. So we'll be taking care of the drivetrain for him. He's going to be doing some other work, but the guy's a busy guy. He's a wrencher too, but I think he kind of wants to be a part of what we do here, as well as I might actually know what I'm doing sometimes, not all the time. So let's take a quick look around this thing. I'm going to get to pulling the motor and trans today and start getting everything kind of cleaned up inside the engine bay. We're going to paint it up a little bit, all that stuff. So I'll give you a quick walk around and then we'll get into it. So AJ has owned this car for a while. He got it out of California a few years back from a lady. She was daily driving it, and it actually just hurt a head gasket. So there's still the motor and trans, everything's still in it. He actually drove it onto the trailer at the time of buying it. I can't remember what he said he got it for, but he got a pretty good deal on it. And overall, it's just a really clean, complete car that actually even has a factory underdash AC unit. So that's kind of rad. But just like most of us these days, he just wants something cool that's reliable, that him and his lady and his kids can hop in and go kind of rip around, that sounds cool. So actually having the 4-door on this car is a really rad thing, and I think it kind of creates a cool back pillar. I don't know what pillar that would be referred to as, but you see how that pillar kind of swoops down? I think that's kind of cool. It's a little different. And overall, Buicks are a little bit of a soft spot for me. They're a little softer in the market. So comparatively, what I mean is in the market of buying and selling, Buick Skylarks are just a lot cheaper as an A-body, but they're actually pretty cool. If you remember, if you don't know, I have a 72 Skylark that James sold me that I'm in love with, and it's one of my favorites because it is also cheaper, but it's still an A-body, and they have different cool features that Buick came out with. So like on this one specifically, these are actually electric seats. Let me show you. So this car has bucket seats that are actually electric. You can see here. So they did have some cool options on Buicks, as well as it's just fun to be a little bit different. The dash is really pretty in this car, and it has a factory installed under dash AC unit. It actually has, you can see here, it has the Buick insignia on it. So I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I think that's actually a Buick option. And last but not least, on the interior, I'm not going to get too crazy, but my favorite thing about a 60s car is some wing window action. You got to have a wing window. I love it so much. It's the best. So that kind of wraps up in there. Just doing a quick overview here. So that's going to wrap up pretty much like the interior, all that, walk around. Now we're going to go ahead and throw these white walls and steels that AJ gave us on the car and get it rolled in to the shop so we can go ahead and pull that motor and trans and get to the cleaning fun part, I guess. Is it fun? I don't know. Maybe. Kind of fun. One thing we have that's going to help us during the cleaning process is the Hot Rod Trick of the Century, which is easy off oven cleaner and a pressure washer. So if you don't have those two things when you're about to clean out an old car or even some of these newer cars, you should get some, because it doesn't really hurt the paint. It just cooks off all the grease and you can get in there and pressure wash it real nice. That's what we did on my C10 if you did see that video. Actually, Sundays for me is Fast and the Furious movie day, so Fast and the Furious is going to play. And then actually I've been given some other movies, some other DVDs by Michelle, our friend. It's been really nice to have the TV in the shop. It makes me feel a little bit less kind of like brain frazzled. Sometimes if I listen to music all day, I just get kind of bored or I get like lackadaisical in my brain. So I'm gonna hop into it, get into the dirty work. I'll throw up the GoPro. We'll throw in a little bit of tism, and we'll throw in a little bit of music, make it a nice smooth transition. go, ladies and gentlemen. The motor is out, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. My friend Mike came by. Might have seen him there in the video for a second. Helped me pop this thing out. Not too bad overall. Actually, I always call this time in the car's beginning journey, I call it like the bonding period, because it's like you start to realize if you and this car are gonna get along. And I think me and this Buick, which AJ's girlfriend calls Buck. AJ disagrees, but let's call it Buck. Me and Buck get along pretty good so far. Aha, there we go. So my friend Mike came over for a little bit, bullshit with me while I was working, and helped me get the motor out completely. We actually popped the hood completely off on this one. So it's kind of nice to have him here to help me. Sometimes I do that stuff with myself and it just kicks my ass a little bit. It takes a little bit more time. So thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. So far, me and Buck, it's his tentative name or her tentative name, I don't know. That's what AJ's girlfriend calls this car. So this is actually a surprise build for his family. So it's kind of like, I don't know if this is actually going to be like released on time or a little bit after. I'm not 100% positive. Overall, this thing's in pretty good shape. The front end's actually been completely rebuilt. It's kind of hard to tell maybe, but like, see, if you just wipe off the dust, like this drag link or the center link's like brand new. The idler arms brand new. The drums and the rotors and all that stuff are all really nice. The bearings are good. Like it spins gorgeous. So I know he's gonna do a disc brake swap, but overall all that stuff's pretty well taken care of. One thing I wanted to show you, besides this insanely dirty transmission cross member, was this radiator. So this radiator, as opposed to like a Chevelle, is actually passenger side exit and entry. So it's basically like an LS swap radiator from the factory. We're gonna do that with a Volvo fan, and I think that combination, as long as that radiator is actually good, which I think it is, it does have a tag on it from Pomona. Like a radiator shop in Pomona had hot tanked it or gone through it at some point in its life. So if that thing's serviceable, we do a Volvo fan, I don't think we'll have any issues with cooling. I'm digging the look of this car. I'm digging the vibe. Me and Buck are getting along. Is it Buck? I don't know. What should this vehicle's name be? I think it takes a little bit of time. You got to get used to it. You got to get around it. You got to see what the build's gonna be like. Then you can name it. But if it has a name, it has a name. I guess it could be Buck. So as we were working, we had some parts show up. The Tanks ink kit. I love using these Tank inks kit. If it's available for the vehicle I'm working on, I pretty much am just like, you have to buy this, otherwise I'm not doing it. Then we got some spark plug wires from Amazon. These are the 18 ones that I would say I kind of recommend these at this point. I've used them a couple times. I like them. They're on Amazon. I do the Amazon affiliate thing, not like hardcore, but I'll put the link in the description if I remember. If I don't, comment and then remind me, and then I'll put it in there. But these are like 30 bucks. They used to be like 28 bucks, and now they're like 40 bucks, but it's still pretty good. As for right now, when I get back inside, my family is doing a Zoom meeting or a Google Hangout meeting or something. It's very awesome to see all the different types of people supporting each other and coming together as a community and doing things to help small businesses. All the stuff that's going on right now is crazy, and it's kind of a bummer in some ways, but I'm just choosing to look at all the positive things that are going on, and it makes me really happy to see the things that we can do for each other when we take a positive turn and spin on things and want to help each other. So I'm gonna get to it. Hopefully you guys are doing stuff like that. Keep yourself sane, stay at home best you can. If you gotta work, we really appreciate you guys being out there working. As for here on the channel, we're gonna keep going and keep working, making some cool videos for you guys so you have something to watch. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.